All of you here and on the wire may be anxious to hear from Norway. So what kind of impact this information we brought may have here? I would ask the Professor Antonio to comment about what he heard today, and especially looking forward to development of the partnership over these questions we bring. Please. Explaining, please, the University of Science of Life you've been working with.
So thank you for coming, and so it's a surprise that I was invited to have a talk here, but anyway, just to bring more the perspective from the Norwegian agriculture, that so you are right when you mentioned that it's important to bring these ideas from the for of the future to Norway, because the customer here, they are very, let's say, they demand a lot, and if we have to follow a lot of rules, protocols, and for in Norway, let's say, even the amount of sugar in the strawberries are important, right? Because in Norway, you have strawberries for jellies, strawberries for prepare cakes. So different perspectives in fruits. So it's a very demanding, let's say, country in terms of sustainability. And for example, in our university, we have a lot of courses that somehow deal with water quality, soil, and also we have a course in agricultural robotics. And so we talk a lot about perspectives and technologies, but of course, I believe that robotics, just talk about from my perspective, should be a good technology to, let's say, somehow help you to implement all the ideas that we are proposing here in this forum, because it's not only about robots, but also about artificial intelligence. And there are some data from the United Nations saying that we need to increase 70% of the food production in the next years. And one way to do this is using new technologies. And this means robotics, AI, computer science in general, new computers, new materials. And I don't know if I answer your question, but this is my perspective in terms of how technology can help the new regenerative agriculture. And so there are a lot of calls right now in place trying to focus in this new kind of agriculture, not only about sustainability, but how to regenerate the agriculture. And so this is my main comment.
No, I have it here. May I make you a question? Because from what I heard, the people that went to your university, you're bringing quality control of the process to robotics. I may understand there is no unemployment consequence here in Norway because you have a very high qualified education. But in Brazil, we have a lot of jobs that it's applied to cut meat, for example, that you are proposing to do it with high quality of control with robotics. How do you process the relocation of jobs from the loss you have with the robotics here? How do you see as a general?
So it's a good question, and so we are discussing this some days ago when the people here they visit an MBU, and I believe that what helps Norway a lot is because of scalability. Norway is a small country, It's just 5 million people living here. So as you mentioned, the education here is very high in terms of quality. So this is the reason that the jobs here, they cost a lot to pay someone to do, let's say, to go to the field, to collect the strawberries, or let's say to harvest. No, it's very costly, especially if you have to do this during the weekends, for example, right? And I believe that this is something, it's a good, somehow this boosts the agriculture in terms of looking for new possibilities, new solutions. And robotic comes, it was very handy here. No, even if Norway is already applying robots in agriculture, we don't have too much companies developing robots here. It's just a curiosity, no? We are more applying robots, and of course, most of these companies, they started as startups in the universities, right? So we have a lot of cases here, or 2 or 3 cases in Norway. For example, Saga Robotics, they start in my university, MBU. It was a master thesis from a student that after this, they produced a very good robot, and now they have a very big company. They have offices in UK, in California right now. They are using robots for grape wines, no, to apply UV treatment. So somehow Norway is, there's a unique condition that we have the combination of a small country and highly educated people. But when you talk about Brazil, I believe that, of course, you have to change the mindset of the farmers and also the people, you know, because, for example, you see that in Brazil, sometimes people, they go to the field, they collect insects, no? They have these pragueiros, right? They do this manually. And now maybe these guys in the future, they're going to start training AIs to recognize these insects, right? Not them going there, but they're going to learn how to operate the robots. They can learn how to train artificial intelligence to recognize the insects. And I believe that's all about mindset and also about, of course, is a policy of the government that have to invest more in technology and educate people, no? Offer, okay, you're not going to remove your job, but you're going to train you. And you're going to enjoy life better, no? Not stay a long time here in the field. You're going to have time to go to your family and learn and improve. It's just my idea, no?
Siqueira, how that impact us in your point of view? How you see it?
Impact a lot because we are in a completely different ways. As you mentioned, jobs here are very costly, and they are considered like, sorry, hard to do, hard to operate for people. And so robots are essential and very important, and has a very direct application for improving life quality of people. In our situation, our biggest challenge, is we need to create jobs, but at the same time, we have a blackout of labor in several different sectors because people are not prepared for or qualified for the jobs that's being offered. Wow. Sorry, it's not a good time for that. Yeah.
Norwegian autumn.
So we need to find a way to integrate this new technology at the same time that we can create new opportunities for job, at least for those more well-trained to be able to perform those jobs. But anyway, we have several good examples because when you put someone in a better job quality, like the ones you need to operate or to fix, to maintain these robotics, they may make enough money to guarantee good quality, a good life quality for all the whole family. So that's part of the problem that we need to deal with. But at the first glance, every time we do this kind of automation, the opportunity for job just decline. And that's causes a very big challenge, because how we're gonna deal with that. But we have some other example of the past, like the bank automation. Even in agricultural sector, several of the plants, industrial plants in the field like sugarcane and several others that's being automated. And the impact is not that big in terms of social impact, because at the same time that you reduce number of jobs, you increase the job quality and the income, then you have a compensation. But it's a completely different situation. But the main point is that we have to decide, and that's the reason why science and knowledge is important for us to decide. We want to be conservative and keep the way we're doing, just being worried about the social aspect of creating jobs. But the question is, those people who are jobless, do they want to work? And that's something that is happening. It's not a generalized type thing, but it's happening in many situations and places in Brazil. So you need people to work, but those people don't want to do that kind of work. Either to decide if you're going to be conservative and keep this way, or if you want to change and have a bold view of our future and to incorporate all of this possible technology in the process and believe that will be for the better, not for the worse.
I would like to ask you, in connection with this matter, as you might know, Professor, we have 50 million neither, if I may translate it like that. We call it nem in Portuguese. You want to see? So they are neither working, neither studying. 15 million people. And we have in the university mainly a discussion of an ideological, political matter, and not a discussion driven to technical, social, technological inclusion, which is the main problem. How to include this ocean of people in a new era of technology. So, Eduardo, it has something to do with, please.
Very quickly here, for your comment, we have to face that Brazilian agriculture is very heterogeneous. It's for you, the comment. It's very heterogeneous, and we have about 5 million farmers.
Present yourself.
Sorry, I'm Eduardo Sampaio. I belong to the Ministry of Agriculture, and I'm currently the agricultural attaché in Germany. But I have been working in the ministry for the last 30 years. 30 years. Oh. And Mr. José Osvaldo was my professor in the university. Brazilian agriculture is very big and very heterogeneous. We have about 5 million farmers. 500,000, round figures, okay, round figures. 500,000 are in the top technology, top state of the art, with a bit of exaggeration. The biggest farmers are already, the biggest ones are already in these regenerative farming systems. But I think there are a lot of opportunities to works or to jobs like yours in Brazil. For both sides can make money. We have already companies developing like automatize using artificial intelligence to apply pesticides or to substitute pesticides using robots, recognizing the plants, recognizing the pests, and using specific lights to attract the flies and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we have people still doing the drudgery works that Mr. José Osvaldo mentioned. So we have a large mechanization process in Brazilian agriculture, and many jobs were lost, but this drudgery, these very hard-working people, I'm not sure it was a bad thing. Probably it was a good thing. And this fact occurs, as it occurs in Europe. Many people don't need more to work in this kind of job, even in Brazil, being in a middle-income country. But even in our reality, many people don't want this kind of job because they have some support from the state and they can find temporary jobs and they can get the necessary income without, for example, harvesting sugarcane, which is very hard work. On this comment, I think there is a lot of opportunities of partnerships between European or Norwegian or Scandinavian institutes with Brazilian companies in this bio-input things, in this on-farm production things. I see only very big farmers producing on-farm. They need technology, they need services, and I think there is room to grow in this kind of partnerships.
So just some comments, I believe that it's important to mention. Another thing that is important that I forgot to mention, that the Norwegian farms, they are not big. So it seems that we are mentioned these numbers some days ago, that in general, Brazilian farms, they are too huge, right? It's a very big farms.
Brazilian farms are 70 hectares.
Exactly.
Very heterogeneous, 70
Yeah.
hectares on average. With the same sizing as in Germany, on average.
Okay. And also, for example, when you talk about these robots that we saw here working today, of course, you know that they cannot replace the agricultural machinery. They cannot go there and harvest, let's say, sugarcane, corn, right? But what they can do, they can go to the field very early. Let's say, sometimes you have some rains. You cannot put our machinery there because they are very heavy, right? But the robots, they are very light. They can go there, inspect, collect data, and provide more insights for the farmers before sending the machinery, right? It's something that the robots can help. But also, when I see here some slides about familiar agriculture, right, in Brazil, I believe that they are the best people to start using robots in Brazil, maybe, because their lands are small, and of course, their robots are also small and can help them, let's say, just carry crates. Well, let's say they collect a lot of fruits, they put it in crates. Instead of they have to carry all these things, the robots can help them. So I believe that the one point that you could focus in the future, okay, why not, let's say, Embrapa, universities, somehow foster the use or promote the use of small robots for these farmers, these small farmers. And also because the idea is not to sell in robots, but sell services, right? So it's how in Norway these things work. The farmers, they don't want to have another machine because they need to put another person there. They don't want to operate. So basically the idea that, okay, I have a problem, I'd like to apply UV in my strawberry plants. Can I hire your service for some hours or some days? And you can send the robot there, do the job, save the crops, and take the robot back. No, it's just some comments. Yeah. And for example, another, sorry to extend a bit too much, but right now, Norway has a lot of initiatives to collaborate with Brazil. And there's a call called Panorama that's going to last until 2027. And they're trying to promote collaboration between Norway and Brazil and other countries like India, South Africa, South Korea, these countries from BRICS, but also focus in Brazil. And what they are doing, they are promoting, let's say, mobility projects, right? And so what's the idea? You can create mobility projects between Norway and Brazil, let's say for 4 years. And you can come to Brazil, take students from Norway to spend some time in Brazil. They can go for a short term, just 4 weeks, or long term, 4 months. They can take courses in Brazil. So the idea is to promote the sustainable mobility between Norway and Brazil. So you can, let's say, everybody has to learn, right? So Brazilians, they can learn about, okay, how to use technology. But always for Norway, it's important to learn new ways of applying or the agriculture, because here in Norway we have just one season. Precision agriculture is something very important in Norway. We have to be very precise. There is no mistakes, right? So I believe that's a, let's say, win-win situation. And just to mention that NMBU has 2 mobility projects in following this idea of called utforsk, that in Norwegian means explore. And this mobility project is between NMBU, Embrapa. Basically, you are sending Brazilians to visit Rio, to visit some companies in São Paulo, and also recently we have the visit of this professor or researcher, senior researcher, Bruno Rodrigues, right,
Bruno
from Embrapa,
Alves,
Bruno Alves, and he spent 2 weeks here with us, learn about soil process, and also we have some grasses, how to cultivate these grasses in a sustainable way. So it's a win-win situation, not only for students, but also for researchers. And I believe that this is some things that you can do in order to keep this collaboration and promote robotics, technology, and learning every time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.